always happens.
Welcome back to our channel.
That was so dry.
My bad. Cut.
And I don't know what that
Welcome back to our channel. We want to say first and foremost, sorry for the delay of the video. We had some technical difficulties.
Some technicals.
Yeah, technicals.
Technical.
Technical difficulties.
We had some technical difficulties
this week, but we will definitely do better next week.
Yeah, I deleted the first video. I'm gonna just be honest. It was an accident though. Like, I didn't do it on purpose. We probably look tired. Mm-hmm. We are tired.
Yes.
But it's
we're
okay.
Determined
yeah.
to get this video out because we need you to know what love is. That's what we're doing today.
Which brings us to our topic. We're gonna get this together. We're gonna get this together. We a little dry. We sorry. We're gonna get this together. This is video 2.
Yes.
Thank everybody who is watching
and came to watch us and supported our first 2 videos. We got a lot of views for it. It had just been up for like a week, right?
Yeah, and if it's not considered a lot of views to you, it is to us.
Yeah.
We not really doing it for the views, so 109 or whatever views is a lot. That means
I think it's 125 now.
For real? So that means that 125
somebody's
people,
watching.
Yeah, it's watching. It's about the message.
Yes.
Not about the people.
How many people?
Yeah.
Yes.
So today we want to talk about love. We're talking about love and being in love, and it's a general thing. I'm kind of stalling because I gotta read. I got my notes, y'all. Y'all know I take notes. But we are gonna read some definitions of love and being in love, coming from Wikipedia, Google, and the Urban Dictionary.
Yes.
So without further ado, it's my turn. All right. So love definition. And this is coming from Wikipedia. Love encompasses a range of strong and positive emotion and mental states, from the most sublime virtue or good habit, the deepest interpersonal affection, and to the simplest pleasure. That's Wikipedia. Mm-hmm. And Google said it's an intense feeling or deep affection. So there you go.
Being in love is believing this person is so wonderful that you want him or her to be a part of your life, a part of you. When you fall in love with a person, you feel an intense urge to consume that person in any way you can. That was by Google. And the Urban Dictionary says it's like hearing a bear roar in the forest.
Yo.
Whatever that meant, we're gonna leave that there. And you'll never have to ask yourself if you are in love. You simply know it. It is a feeling which is not easily revoked. Sometimes you may not want it. Sometimes it may be too impractical. But it will always be the most overwhelming experience you ever have. To be apart from this person is to experience a high degree of agony. To be with this person, the highest degree of bliss. If you have not experienced love, you have not lived. That's what the Urban Dictionary says.
That's my favorite part. If you have not experienced love, you have not lived. So, yeah. All right, so just getting into it. Mm-hmm. What is love? For me, love is happiness. It's joyful. There's peace in love. Mm-hmm. And this is just strictly love. Like love for everyone, love for people. I like to say anything that's of a noun, so a person, place, or a thing. Mm-hmm. So it's happiness, being happy, being joyful, peace and love. Love changes your mood. So I feel like when you love somebody or you love something, you carry things differently. Mm-hmm. I also would like to say, like, love doesn't judge, and love doesn't hate. So that's like my personal definition of what love is from what I feel.
I feel like love is a feeling where you want to cry and laugh at the same time. Like, it's a overwhelming feeling that it puts you in so many emotions that you can't really control it sometimes. It's very unpredictable, is what I think. It's kind of like pouring yourself into another person. So it doesn't just have to be like your significant other. It can be like a friend. It can be like somebody that you work closely with. It could be anything along those lines. I feel like when you genuinely love, it feel like fireworks. Like, yes, like like I love you. Like that's yeah. as close as I can get to it. That's what it means to me.
When I think of love, like when I hear the word love, what comes to my mind, of course, God. Mm-hmm. Like I love God with all my heart. God is love. Mm-hmm. I also think of Camellia. I think of Naima. Mm-hmm. I think of music. Music is my all. Mm-hmm. And my family. Those are some things that come to mind when I think of love.
Mm-hmm. When I think of love, I think of a few things. I definitely think of like my family, and how close we are, and how family oriented we are. I feel like that plays a lot in loving somebody, because people always say, like, when you date or when you are about to marry into another person, you marry their family too. And it's like we have to show each other love. Like, it has to be a circle type of thing. I also think of how grateful I am that I have a love of my life. I have people to love, and like I have people who love me genuinely. And I just also get really excited about my profession. I'm a cosmetologist, a hairstylist, whatever you may call it. But I get super, super excited over hair. Sometimes people don't understand. They just look at it like, oh, it's just a braid, or it's just a curl. Like, it's really not that serious. No, but it's not. And that's the point.
Just a ponytail.
It's, people, if you don't do hair, you'll never understand it. And I guess it's the same as if you don't play an instrument. It's kind of just like, that's it. Like, okay, it make noise.
Like when people call my keyboard a piano.
Right, and you correct them. Me included. So it's the same thing. Like, I get super excited over my profession.
So it's safe to say you love.
I love it. Yeah. I love
it. I learned about love from my mom. Honestly, like, it started off with my mom. Mm-hmm. I guess you could say I don't feel like love is I don't feel like it's something that you're born with. Mm-hmm. Neither is hate. I feel like love can be considered a learned.
Both can be learned.
Yeah. It definitely could be considered a learned emotion or feeling. But I feel like I was born into it, because as soon as I was born, I was showered with love. By my mom and my family, but it was like heavy from my mom, and she taught my siblings that. So we learned to love each other, regardless of the circumstances. Like, the love from my three brothers, me and my mother, that love could never be broken. I don't care how much we fight. And also, I learned love coming from church. And me saying church, it's more of a recent thing, because honestly, church people weren't the nicest to me. But recently, like, I have definitely been experiencing like unconditional love from the people that I'm connected with through church now. I never attended like a gay church, for lack of better words, or anything like that. I always went to a standard church, and I got judged a lot. Like, they judge me, talk about me. I'm the conversation, the topic of a conversation behind closed doors. So when I started receiving love from church, it really stood out to me. Like that's definitely, they showing real love, real godly love. And I've learned this in the past. I'm gonna say the past like couple years. I've learned from church too. I also learned love from dating. There were different levels. I've been in love 3 times, and I've loved all three of those women 3 different ways. There was 3 separate loves, and it's safe to say that it grew each time. So I fell in love with each person down to Camellia being the last. I fell in love with each person stronger by the person, because each time there was a different experience, and I learned different lessons. And so definitely dating taught me about love.
Yeah, I think that I broke mine down of how it came about. So I definitely learned from my parents and like my family about love because, like I said, we're pretty close. We spend a lot of time together, especially when I was younger. And my family, we're like huggers and kissers, and like we'll hug strangers, we'll hug people we just met.
They
We'll
are
hug
huggers.
when
I'm
we're
not.
angry. We'll hug when we're not angry. Like that's just how we express it. Expressing it is the way to go because just talking about it, like, girl, I love you, like that can get like I need to feel it. Like I need to see some type of action of you loving me. I think that I've only been in 2 serious relationships. I can say 2 very different relationships, including Markia, and I think that my past relationship taught me how to love, but in a different way. We were what they would consider crazy in love. We felt like, we had to. We were each other's priority. That's what we felt like at one point. Like I have to love you because of this, and that. Where now I don't feel like that. I feel like I learned a lot from Markia in my relationship now. She teach me how to love properly. That her feelings do matter, and that this is a partnership. This is not a one-way street. This is not I love you, but you got love for me kind of thing. Like we're in love, and it's a difference. I also learned from Naima, who's my daughter. I learned unconditional love with her because before I even had her, I loved her as if she was already like amongst the earth, like out and about. And I'll never forget being scared, like, oh my God, I'm having a little person. But I eventually was like, oh my God, like it became like a overwhelming like feeling like, yes, I'm about to have a baby. Like, and then when I met her, it's no words. And before I start crying, I'm gonna leave it there. But that's definitely like unconditional love. Like there's no explaining it. So those are the things. That's where I learned.
That's sweet. Hear you talk about Naima. It's really
Yeah.
sweet. Some examples that I had growing up of love and unconditional love and stuff like that, and even being in love was definitely my mother. She loved the way, like I was saying before, the way she loved me and my siblings. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can say this publicly. Like I'm 27, and
you just go ahead.
my mother still kisses me in the mouth. I was a little hesitant of saying this, but I'm okay with it. I'd be like, Mom, like she'd be like, come here, give me a kiss. I'd be like, oh God. But I will always that's something special between me and my mom, and especially me being the only girl. I will always do it, but that's how we showed love. We also used to do this thing where we like rubbed each other's nose, and together, and that was how we showed each other love. And like I felt the love in that. You know how you can you know, you can hug or you kiss your partner and you feel the sparks. Well, there could be a spark between a child and their parent. When my mom hugged me, I felt like this is my mommy. Like, excuse me, y'all, my nose is being funny. But I felt like, yes, I'm hugging my mom. You know, that her showing me affection and stuff, like, it definitely made me, like, want to. I show that same affection to Naima. And she, like, me and my brothers, my mom have four kids in two separate generations, and we have put her through four separate things. All of us have put her through some form of heartache, unfortunately, just being bad teenagers, but she never gave up on us. My mom had me when she was 32, and it's safe to say she was kind of tired because she helped raise her siblings when she was a kid. So she had been raising kids all her life. And even with her being tired, she still put her best foot forward with me. You know, watching my mom go through different changes from things in life, she never let that. She never abandoned us. She never seen us starving. She never seen us homeless or hungry. Even when we move away, still to this day, I don't live with my mom, but she still will help me in any way that I need because she loved me. And when I say stuff like, "Mom, like I owe you," or "You don't have to do this," she always be, "I love you. You're my child. You're gonna always be my child." I also learned unconditional love with a partner, I guess, by watching what she went through with her husband. My mom's been married a few times, and the first marriage I wasn't around for. She was really young. The second marriage I was there for it, and it was tough for her. It was tough for the both of them, but just watching her fight through it because of her heart, because of the love, because she was in love, she wanted to fight through it as much as she could. They both did. They fought through everything that they were going through, and it was tough, but it wasn't because she was scared to leave. It wasn't because she was used to it. It wasn't because she didn't want to get another divorce. It wasn't because of any of those things. It was simply because she was in love with him, and he was in love with her, and she fought it to the end. That willpower. I remember feeling like, dang, you know, is she weak? Like questioning, like, if you're done, you're done. But being in love and experiencing it for myself, she really stayed. Some people be in love but there's something in them that let them leave. Like there are people that can be in love with you from a distance. But my mom embraced it, and even though it wasn't a good story, there was a good lesson in that. And you fight for what you want. So, you know, those were definitely I must say example, or what I saw growing up that told me about love. What about you?
My biggest example is my parents too. My parents have been married for over 20 years now, about 25 I believe, or could be wrong. I think it's 26 this year. But they've been married for a long time, and when I was younger, I didn't have a lot of friends who lived in a two-parent home. It's always been either I live with my mom or I live with my dad, and we just were on two separate pages. Like, I see my mom and my dad dancing, I see them kissing, I see them showing love to each other. Like, like they're in love. Where when I would go out other places, I don't really get that. Like, I know a few friends who don't really have good relationships with their parents, and I think the example do start with them. I do think it's important for parents to love on their children because, like we said earlier, it is a teaching type of emotion, I feel like. If anything, they taught me that there are going to be struggles, there's going to be, situations, but you stick it out if you love that person, and not just like, hey, I love you, like I said, like more so like, no, I literally like love you. So that was my biggest example.
Now in this part, Camellia and I are going to kind of like, break it up and do love versus being in love, and our definitions and our opinions on it. So love is definitely it's something that you share with multiple people. Is it can be intimate, but it's open. It's a broad thing. It's a general thing. I believe that if you understand love, like you will like really understand like that it's okay to love, that it's okay to love people, that it's okay to express that love, that you don't have to hide it. People make love seem like a weakness, like it gets mistaken as a weakness, or like we can't embrace it, you know. Even, you know, it's a lot of times we deal with that with men, but even women, like we don't we don't tell our friends we love each other. Like I'm not gonna be sit here and pretend like I tell my boys like, man, I love y'all, I love you, dog. Like, nah, we don't do that. But we don't because society make it seem like you can't. There has definitely been times that I've been on the phone with like my good man, and we just had, you know, a good little conversation, and we about to end the night, and I wanted to be like, all right, bro, I love you. And I have friends that I've had like some of my homeboys, I definitely do be like, oh, I love you, bro. But opening up that door, like it's hard. Yeah, it's hard. You know, like basically we push love to the side, but understanding like what love was intended for, you know, caring for one another, being there for one another, encouraging each other, like that's those are qualities of love. And we definitely should want to share that with everybody, rather than hatred, which is more popular and more easier for most people. Another thing is, you know, God teaches us to love everybody equally, you know, not to judge. But hate is more convenient, like I was saying. Like,
it's easier to hate.
Yeah, it's easier to hate because love can be vulnerable. Like, it's like love is almost in the same category as saying I'm sorry. Like, it's just something we really don't do or don't want to say. And it really shouldn't be like that. With even with us, you know, starting up our pages and stuff, I love, we call it a love page. Even with us starting up our pages and stuff, I'm learning every day. I want to be a living example of what we speak. So I can think of situations that I've been in currently where I think about, you know how people be like, what would Jesus do? I would think about, well, how I'm choosing to react. Is that in love? Is that, am I acting in love, or am I acting like in my flesh? And that's kind of like, it's pretty much on my mind all the time.
Because we can't just to piggyback on what you're saying, we can't start a page about how you should love everybody, or, you know, walk in that direction, and we're not doing it. Like,
another thing that I
do that.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Another thing I want to put a pin on. Let's not confuse love with doing things for accolades, or like, you know what I'm saying, like love is pure, like it's honest, it's genuine, you know. So, you know, you see a guy outside begging for change, and you give him $20, but really for bragging rights, so you can tell somebody, look, I gave the homeless man $20. Okay. Like, nah, you know what? I was telling somebody, and I believe this is love. I was telling somebody something. So I'm a little familiar with different street drugs and how they have effects on people. And, you know, you got the guy standing outside, and he's asking for change to get a sandwich from McDonald's, but really he got the shakes. You know what I'm saying? He's having withdrawals from heroin. If you know anything about heroin, like it makes you sick. It almost feel like you want to die when you're having withdrawals. I've never done heroin, but I have seen it with my own eyes. So you got people that'll be like, I'm not about to give them $1. They just gonna go buy drugs with it. Because I love you and I don't want to see you hurt. No, I don't want you to go get no dope. No, I don't want you to go buy no beer. And I'm not using beer. I'm just using it as an example because I like to drink occasionally. But no, I don't want you to go. If you tell me you want it for a sandwich, go get a sandwich. But because I love you, like, I don't want you out here shaking. I don't want you out here going through those withdrawals. If that's what you got to do to make it through one more day, then I don't mind helping you. And sometimes I could tell them that. Like, sometimes you can see the signs. When you're around it, you kind of see the signs. You know what it looks like. When somebody got the shakes, you can tell what a dope fiend look like. Those that shoot it, because they limp, they get swollen and stuff like that. You can kind of tell. And I'll be honest with them. I'll be like, look, bro, I know you probably about to use this for X, Y, and Z. Somebody's asking you for some change and it's in your heart to give it to them. What they need it for doesn't even matter, because God judges your heart. Just give it to them out of love. You know what I'm saying? Kind of went off on the side, but I felt like that was important. So being in love, being in love is intimate. It's a connection. There's a feeling when you in love that's like almost you can't put words to it. She's laughing because I think she knows what I'm about to say, because I told her this. Love is definitely overwhelming. Like I was saying, like, I think being in love is more like the fireworks, for real, the sparks. You know, you get those butterflies, and when I'm in love, it takes a toll on me. So I get all type. When I first fall in love, I get all types of anxiety, and my heart be beating fast when I'm getting ready to, like, when I used to go pick Camellia up when we going on dates and stuff, my heart would be like, and it wasn't because did I smell good, did I look good, because I knew that I did. It was just because I love her. Like, what if I do something weird? Like, what if I do something crazy? Like, I get to overthinking. I like to say that love is like an emotional orgasm. Yeah, we grown. So, we grown. If you had an orgasm, you understand. If you didn't,
talk to your people.
Yeah. Consult with someone that did. Yes. It's like an orgasm of the heart, y'all. Yeah. Like, it's overwhelming. Like, what was that? Like, that's kind of
control.
It's out of your control. Like, you kind of, once you fall in love, you don't have no say. No. Like, you do crazy things being in love. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have no say. Yeah. When I'm in love, I'm more understanding. I'm more sympathetic. I have empathy. I'm open to emotions. And what I mean by, like, I'm more understanding, as I stated before in my last video, my cup is not half full or half empty. It's halfway. I'm like literal. Like, it's halfway. But if Camellia is more of a half full type person, so if she's telling me the cup is half full, Marquette, because I'm in love and I want to hear you out and I want to understand, I'm gonna be like, okay, it's half full. And I'll wreck my brain trying to understand her thought process so that we can be on one accord. I said that you're open to emotions, and that's a big thing for me, because I like to say that I'm a shielded or guarded person, and keeping my emotions personal in between me and God is a big deal. It's a big deal to me. I don't play that showing no signs of weakness. I ain't grow up like that. I grew up with 3 brothers, 3 males. They were tough. They were hard. They played fight with me. They taught me how to stand up on my own, how to protect myself. So I always feel that way. Like, no, I'm not gonna cry. That's dead. No, like, I'm not about to tell you that this hurt my feelings or this made me sad. But when I fell in love with Camellia, that changed. Like, she introduced me to a side of me that was in me that I didn't know was there, and an emotional side, where she helped me understand that it was okay to cry in her arms. It was okay for her to rub my back. It's okay, again, we grow, it's okay for her to hold me sometimes at night when we're going to bed. Like, it's okay to embrace the woman that's inside of me. I'm not transgender, and no disrespect by no means to anybody that is. I am not. So I understand, I understand and respect the woman in me, but I like to keep her away from the world. And so, but she's like, it's okay for Marquia to come out sometimes. You don't have to be Kia all the time. And like, when she helped me understand that, she helped me gain in my how many years that I've been out, she helped me gain some understanding of who I was because of that. But I had to be free to be open with my emotions. Being in love allowed me to do that. Honestly, I'm grateful for it. I really am. It was probably one of the best things that could have happened to me. Because I was a confused homosexual. Like, I wasn't confused with whether or not I was homosexual. I was confused with what type of homosexual I was.
Right.
Because I hid my girly side, for lack of better words. Now I understand who I am. So once again, being open to being able to express my emotions to her put me in that great space. And I'll forever be grateful about that. I have on this paper that when you're in love, I want to be the best that I could be for the person I'm in love with. And I definitely was talking about Camellia when I said that. I try to be as perfect as I can. Perfect doesn't exist, but shawty, I want to get as close to it as I possibly can. I ask her like about my flaws. Like who does that? Who wakes up like, hey, so I know I got some flaws, so can you tell me about them so that I can be better? Right. Like, I do that. Like, tell me. And honestly, most of the time she'd be like, there's nothing. Right. I mean, it was this one time that she was like, well, lately you've been complaining a lot. Like, or you be too concerned about finances. But like, I ask because I want to be everything for her. And I mean that. Like, as long as we live, because we're going to be together forever. As long as I'm still on this earth, I will always continue to try to be as close to perfect as I could possibly be for my soon to be wife. And that's never going to stop. The last thing that I have on here is when I'm in love, I want to experience God with that person. Like, when I'm in church and the Holy Spirit falls on me, it's overwhelming. And times that she's not at church with me, I wish that she was there, so that we can feel the presence of God together. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people not going to like this part of this segment, but it is what it is. I'm being honest. I might be blessing somebody right now. I really do feel that. And I feel like couples, period, straight, gay, whatever, that they should be able to experience that. It's an amazing feeling to feel the presence of God and to be holding hands with the person I'm in love with.
You have to be grateful.
Yeah.
You have to be grateful that he allowed you to even be with somebody,
Yeah.
Okay? You gotta be, you have to really give thanks, because there's people who pray for your situations. They pray for your significant other. They pray, a lot. So
when you say pray for, you mean like pray against?
Yeah. Against, like people wish to have what you have. And you have to be tight. You have to be a unit. And like, I agree, you can't do nothing without him.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my take on being in love and being regular love, or just love in general.
I definitely think love is something general. I personally love everybody. I could tell, like I said, I could tell somebody, we just had a slight conversation about something really random.
She'll say, I love you.
Say, you know what? I really love you.
That's so weird.
I love you. and like,
it shouldn't be. I'm sorry, it shouldn't be.
But it's the truth. I really like.
It is weird though.
I love you, girl. Like, I've always been like that. Could literally sit in a room full of people, and immediately I can pull at least 3 of them that don't immediately feel like we've known each other for years, and technically we just met today, or we've only been cool with each other for
a minute and 32 seconds.
But that's okay. That is the whole entire point, is that it's no time. It's no timing on when you can love somebody, when you can have love for somebody. When I was younger, I used to say it all the time, like, I got love for you. Like, I really, care about you. I would never want you to get hurt or anything to happen to you. I never wish any ill. Those things come into play when you have love for someone. For an example, I have a few co-workers that I've pulled to the side. Like, you know what? I really feel like we're family. Like, we have a connection, and I don't need to know all your personal business. I don't need to know, you know, how you feel about me per se. Like, I just want you to know that I love you. And that's okay. So it's nothing wrong with that. I think that's the difference for love, like love you type of thing. Being in love is something completely different, though. Like, completely different.
Completely different.
I feel like when you in love, like, it's almost like stepping out of your body to, like, be open for another person. Like, I want you to see me in total. I feel like if you can't sit with me looking dry and, like, you know, pimple here, and I've gained weight, and I've done, you know, I don't look like what I look like when we started. Like, I feel like that's love. Like, that's being in love, because you'll take me no matter what. Like, you know that I come with imperfections, you know that I come with flaws, you know, all these things, yet you're willing to go the distance for me. I'm willing to go the distance for you. It's like going to the ends of the earth for the person that you love. Like, like when Beyonce was like crazy in love.
I'll catch a grenade for you.
Like, it's real. it's really like that. Like, disappointing your significant other, it's the worst feeling. It can be the slightest of things. It can be the slightest
for
of
us
things.
Definitely. Like, yes. We can tell you it's the worst feeling.
Oh yeah, it can be the slightest. I'm like, damn, I messed up. Like, I shouldn't have did that.
Then we be shady at each other because we mad at ourselves.
Right.
That's just us. Truth moment.
People who are in love, they'll understand that.
Not answer my text message because you mad.
Like, but hold on.
At yourself.
Right. Like, but that's something you do when you're in love.
Especially for us. Like, that's some truth about how we move.
It's really like that. It's really like, you know, like, I'm in love. Like, it's no other way to put it. Like, I like that we can sit and we laugh at each other. We laugh at, you know, stuff that we might have went through. We've overcome a lot. And we haven't, you know, been together for 15 years or we haven't been together, you know, for
as long as people want us to have been together.
But we've overcome some technical difficulties.
What?
And it's strictly out of love.
Right. I want to put a nugget there though. Not us with each other. So, like, not us fighting each other. But just around us. Things around us. People's opinions.
We really had to, like, focus in on, like, each other.
Because of what's going on around us,
If you crack, I'm a crack, and we can't do that. So it's really like
she really used to say that to me.
Yeah, if I had to paint a picture, and I did this the other day on Facebook on purpose. If I had to paint a picture, it would be our daughter standing in the middle of us with our arms lashed across our what's this here, babe?
Elbow.
Yes, my arms is lashed onto your elbows. And that's almost like a shield, like a gate around us, because people are going to come with the punches, period.
They still coming with the punches.
With the punches. But as long as we are in love, as long as we know what we want for each other.
As long as we love enough to be in love.
Yeah, that's it.
Because
I'm telling you,
it don't start with just being in love. It start with love.
Yes, and that's why we're breaking it down, because you literally have to start with love for someone, like love,
friendship, love, and then being in love.
Yeah, because me and Markia, we started off pretty good with our friendship. We
a solid friendship too.
And she, like, I used to tell her, like, I love you, even as her friend, like, because
like before dating.
This is what I think. Somebody needs to hear it. You might not even know you need to hear it. You might not even know you need to feel like somebody love you. But it's important. It's important to let the next person know, you know what, I love you. Like, what you need, what's going on. And if you just need me to shut up and listen, I'm there. Like, that's a sign of love. Like, that's, so it's really, even though you need, like she said, you need love to be in love, there is a difference though, and a lot of people, especially our age, don't understand the difference. But that's a whole nother situation.
So yeah, why did you choose love? Love chose me, and I chose love. But when I say love chose me, is I was blessed enough to understand it. Like, of course I've been confused in learning through experiences. I got confused, like my first time falling in love. I was trying to figure out if I was in love. I remember like asking, like, how you know if you in love? And back before Google was popular, we had Yahoo. So I was like on there, like, how do you know if you're in love or whatever? But love chose me. I was definitely, like I said previously, I was born right into it, and I got it all the way up until now. I said before, I feel like I'm blessed with the gift of love. Now, is that a real thing? I feel like it is, because I feel like I have it. Because I genuinely can love everybody. I tried to be harsh. And what I mean by try to be harsh, so I'm a pretty stern person. I smile, but maybe not as much as people would want me to. I tend to have the rest in beep face. Yeah, maybe I can insert a beep right there.
Yeah.
We'll see. But I tend to have that. I'm not really that open to people. I'm trying to be now, but previously, like, not really that open to people. But I'm not a harsh person. So what I mean with I tried to be harsh, like I tried to be mean, like I tried to be like, say I had a little situation with somebody and they didn't get over it as fast as me. I would try to still carry them, even though in my heart I'm over it now. I would try to still carry it how they carrying it, because they was carrying it that way. But I would end up feeling stupid because I don't even feel that way. So now I gotta put in extra energy to try to be mean. Like, it's just not like that for me. I prefer to dead confrontation, period. I prefer to let's just show love. When I was younger, I was for it. You know, I used to always be into something. I was always in something. And I was for it. You know, I used to instigate it for real, little truth moment. Like, I used to like fighting and all that. But once I realized that's not really where my heart was at, and that was me reacting to different trauma and things in my life, I was able to understand, like, nah, I just prefer to show love. Now, you know what I'm saying? This goes without saying, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I don't go for nothing, and I never will. That's just the truth. And I don't have the best attitude in the world. That's also some truth. But I'm working on it. I'm definitely working on it, because I want to walk what I talk. Walk it like you talk it. Hey, walk it like it. But yeah, I wanna be a living witness, a walking example. Love is easier to hate. It's easier to love. For me, I have to put in, like I was saying before, I have to put in energy to be that way. Like, who's doing that? Like, I'm not doing that. Not about to wreck my brain to teach myself how to be a butthole. Like, nah, I'm not doing that. It's easier to love for me. I feel like I'm one of the few in my generation that know and understand what love is. One of the few could be out of 10 million. I'm one of the 1 million. But what I mean is I feel like I have a very clear understanding of love, and a very clear understanding of being in love, what the qualities are, and the importance of it. That right there is a big deal. we lack understanding when it as it applies to the importance of love. It's very important. So I'm gonna always love. I'm gonna continue to love. I'm never gonna stop loving. We gonna always have enemies, so let's not get it confused. We're gonna have enemies, but we still should love our enemies. I don't have a heaven or hell to put nobody in. I don't have the right to determine whether or not they deserve love or not. So just because you're an enemy, I don't have to bang with you and I can love you from a distance. That's the difference in between being in love and loving. I can love you from a distance. We don't gotta chop it up on the phone. Like, you don't have to be on my social media. I can block you, but I don't have to wish evil upon you. I don't have to talk about you. Matter of fact, if I don't bang with you, then my mouth shouldn't even be on your name.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess, that's why I chose love. What about you, babe?
I'm usually, I wear my heart on my sleeve, so it's very easy for me to express love. It's very easy for me to show love, and that can come a bit off a bit like I'm easy to be pushed, people to walk over me is what I'm basically saying. I'm always sympathetic. I'm really care about empathy on someone else's situations. Like, I'm a softie, so it's not hard at all. It's not hard at all.
You jive like a big cap because you a softie, but you've been showing this little hard part.
Whoa. That's something. You need to relax.
You've been showing this little gangster that I ain't know was there.
But what I'm saying is,
Shawty don't go for nothing is what I'm saying.
What I'm saying is the love part. It's the difference between, like, making sure somebody know that you aren't something to be played with. But me, at the end of the day, like she said, if we argue or I get into some type of cahoot, I'm going to feel bad at the end of the day. Like, I'm going to feel like, dang, why we had to do that? Or why did that even come about? Or now I'm sitting here sad. Well, you the one that should be sad because of something I might have said to you back or something like that. But it's really going to be me who feels like, why did I step out of character? And why didn't I continue, like, with the love? Like, why I didn't just keep with that?
She's definitely one of the nicest people I've ever met.
Yeah, I don't like confrontation. I'm not a confrontation.
My mother loves her, so she's got to be one of the nicest people in the world.
So I don't like that. Besides that, I just felt like I deserved it. Like, I deserve love. I deserve to love somebody.
You do. Oh.
I just felt like it. Why not? Like, I literally deserve to feel like, I'm the best thing on this planet. Even if I don't think that myself, I feel like it's necessary for someone else to make you feel like that, especially if you're in a relationship or, situationship is what I was told recently from a friend. So if that's what it is, and that person should make you feel like you deserve it 1,000%. So that's definitely why I chose it. I want to read something because I wrote some other good stuff. I specifically chose Marquia simply out of faith, not for fun, not just to test out, but simply stepping out on faith that I will never find anything better than what she has to offer me. I meant every word in it, and I read it, and she's blushing. I read it because, yes, you are, because I literally want that to marinate. I didn't choose to be with Marquia because this was something trending, or this was something just to do and fill out. Like, for an example, she literally came to me and was like, you should definitely look at me as an option. Like, you should really just try to, like, close your eyes and really think about, like,
giving me a chance.
Yeah, like, giving me a chance, and stop looking at it as a gender situation. And her feeling like I should I'm important enough to like make that decision. Does that make sense? Like, you really felt like Miller should be able, like, make a decision on if she should do this or she should do that. Like, I'm really not all that.
To put a nugget right there.
I'm really not.
I want to put a nugget right there. So this is not a straight relationship or a gay relationship. Mm-hmm. This is not a gay woman dating a straight woman or a straight woman dating a gay woman. We didn't fall in love with the body parts.
Right.
We fell in love with the person.
Yeah. So
it started with the heart, y'all.
It really did. And I think that's what makes us grow. Like, that's what helps us continue, is because we literally we've merged into one by heart.
We learned the love that we have for each other together.
Yeah.
We took the examples we had and what we knew and we put it together, mm-hmm. and we created this. And not originated this. I'm sure there's other people, but we created what we have. What we have is special for us.
Right.
And it came from understanding love.
Mm-hmm.
It starts with love for people. She loved me as a person, not as a woman, not as a woman man, not as a woman. She loved me. She loved me as a person, and I loved her as a person as well. It was my attraction to her was beyond her beautiful smile or that laugh or just the different many qualities that I could run down and spend another hour on. It was Camellia. It was Miller, because at the time I knew her as Miller. Mm-hmm. And when I fell in love with her, she became Camellia, which is her real name. But it started with love, y'all. And you can get. We don't have a perfect relationship, and I'm not boasting and I'm not being arrogant or anything. But you can get this. This is not just something that we can only have. Mm-hmm. Anybody could get this if you understand love. If you try love, just try love, y'all. Let love, y'all. Mm-hmm. Love wins. So love then versus now. Were you done, babe? Yeah. Love then versus now. So I'm gonna start with love back in the day. So I feel like love, like general love, it's never been popular. Like I feel like we have never had a world full of love. Mm-hmm. Like you have different states and different cities and different places and different, people that love. You got people that don't eat meat because they love animals. You have people that everything in their house is like, the go green people that want to save the trees, and they find other ways to write, like they don't use paper. You have those type of people. You have your religious people that genuinely want to be like Christ. You have all of those different people, but we have never came together as a world and have just show love, and live in love. So love is definitely, it's never really been popular. I feel like this world is full of hate, y'all. It's full of envy. It's full of jealousy. It's full of mean people. It's full of people that judge. Judging is like walking. Like it's a natural thing. Like for every person in the world that put on draws, there's a person that judge. You know what I'm saying? Like our world is tough. It's hard to live. Like it's hard to, people question whether or not they want to have kids because of the type of world we live in. Pretty much like nothing's changed. I feel like it's been like that back then, and it's going to continue to be like that. So I'm a Christian. I believe, and when I say I believe, this is fact to me. This is fact. God kicked the devil out of heaven, and when he did, he gave him the earth, and he gave him dominion over the earth. Mm-hmm. So if you think about it, just in the simplest form, why would there even be a world full of love if it belongs to Satan? He rules over all of this. Mm-hmm. He has a lot of control. Like us now, if you follow the Bible, us as Christians, we're supposed to do as much as we can possible to be like Christ. So we try, but he's not gonna win. If you follow the Bible, Jesus is coming back. He's taking all of this. But right now, that hasn't happened yet. We deal with, you know, those evil spirits and demonic spirits and envy and being mean and stuff. We dealing with that because that's what's intended for the moment. To my man Jesus come back. Um, um, 1 second. We controlled by a wicked government, y'all. They I'm not gonna get too much in this, but they control a lot of what goes on in the world. You got your Democrats and your Republican, and typically the Democrats is more for the people, the opposed to the Republicans, but they all are one. They all are under the same government, and ain't no love in that government. I could go as far as saying look at the president now, but if you ask me, he's just a disguise for real. He's just a fool up there. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing, like just taking our mind off of what's important. But nevertheless, the government ain't really teaching us about love, y'all. And those are the people that we have to follow, and that we have to do what they say, and if we don't, then we'll be punished in whichever way that they so choose. So we kind of just move how they want us to move. They see all the video, the rappers coming out with the shooting and the killing and the stuff that they put up on the internet for the kids to see. The government, if they wanted, they could shut all that down, but it makes money. That's what people are into, so they don't. So pretty much love pretty much there's no change from back then to now. Now being in love, we're talking about the intimate part. I do feel like back in the day, people were more in love. So those that got married, let's think about the elderly people that's married now. So if you run into somebody in their 70s and their 80s and they married, they probably been married for 20, 30 plus years, some 40 plus years. It was important to have a family, to fall in love. That stuff was important back in the day. Our grandparents, they tell stories of how they met their husband or their wife when they were just a little kid, and sandbox stories, and they fell in love and they went through changes, but they fought through it. Some people could say, divorce wasn't popular back then, but I feel like that's beside the point. Yeah, it might not have been, but it wasn't popular. Not only was it popular, but it was because people didn't want to do it. Now it's easier to get divorced. It is what it is. Go get you a divorce and start over and date somebody else. Like, it's whatever. Don't feel bad. And that's not knocking anybody who's been divorced. My mom's been divorced, like I said before, but I feel like back then people did fight a little bit harder. Love was definitely important, and it was real. I feel like when they fell in love, some people they had to get married. Their parents threw them together and this, that, and the third. But for those who didn't, like, they really were in love. It really was real. The couples invested their time in each other. Like, they wanted to, like I said, I want to be my best for her. They wanted to be their best for each other. Husband worked 2 and 3 and 4 jobs to take care of their family. The wives that wasn't working at home, cooking and cleaning and making sure that the house was conducive for the husband to come home and relax after he just worked 2 and 3 and 4. Like that's not going on right now. We got women working, power to us women, and men working at the same time, and we crossing paths, this and the third, but we don't find time to invest in each other. So that has definitely changed from back then to now. Cheating is normal. Cheating is a thing. Like, you cheated, you gonna forgive me? Alright. I personally was in a relationship when I asked somebody, if I cheated on you, would you leave me? And I just wanted to know, like, the opinion, like, what do you feel about cheating? And I feel like, if you're in love, you might fight for it. Or if you like, nah, you get one chance, that's a wrap. you know. But people pretty much cheat all the time, and it just be more so like, you cheated, so I'm gonna cheat, and then we gonna move on. Like, why? Like, that's crazy. Like, I seen a Facebook status today. If you cheated on me, so what make you think I'm not gonna cheat on you back? And so y'all still together after that? Like that's okay? And why is he even on Facebook? Well, that's a whole nother story, but that's okay. This generation, they lack self-love, y'all. And without self-love, you can't love. You got to love yourself first. And one last thing that I like to bring up is that back then, the parents, they raised their children. They birthed, if they birthed 100 kids, they have those 100 kids in the house with them. Now it's it's kind of fly by night. Go live with your auntie, go live with your grandma, go live with your mom, go live with your dad. The parents aren't, my generation having kids, like their mothers and fathers are raising their kids, and have a say, and have a bunch of opinions. Parenting is not that popular. We pop them out, but we don't invest in our kids, and we don't understand the effect that we have as it applies to love on those children as they grow up. You know what I'm saying? The simplest things become trauma, and then trauma brings on other things like hatred and anxiety and things like that. Y'all forgive me, I'm a counselor at the group home, so I see it all the time. But that's a big thing to me. Back then, they used to take care of their kids. Today's time, we kind of let everybody take care of our kids. Pretty much, I feel like in today's world, like, we don't know what love is. We don't even know what being in love is. We make up our own definitions. We have our own understanding. Whatever it is for that day, that's what it is. So I was long-winded. Your turn.
I think that love then was definitely taught to be ride or die. Like, whatever obstacles come our way, we have no choices. This is something that we set to stone, basically. Like, I'm gonna be with you for forever, and that's pretty much what it's gonna be. Regardless of the circumstances, regardless of what we're going through, regardless of what we do to each other. Like, there's been so many movies and so many stories, and so many, grandparents and great grandparents to tell you, like, yeah, such and such struggled with this and that, and we argued, and I almost killed him and things like that, but I loved him and I stayed with them, and I that's your grandfather, like, you know what I mean? Like, it was never taught to leave your husband. Never. I don't care what he did. I don't care what the case may be, and vice versa. I don't care if your mom did this and that. Like, this is what it's gonna be. We're gonna be together forever. I think today's world is much, much different. I think that divorce now is something that just kind of happens, because a lot of us just don't put up with, we're not gonna hold out. We're not gonna waste any more time. We're a tad bit, some people like to say stronger, but honestly, I just feel like we don't have the patience. Like, I'm not.
Oh, it's a shield.
Yeah, I'm not like that, like how they were back then, and that's okay, because if it's not for you, it's not meant for you, and it's not okay to sit and waste time on something that you and your partner know that this is not going anywhere. So I do understand that point of it. What I feel like also, though, is like a lot of people, and I don't just say our generation, because there's a few older people who still are single, still messing with this person, that person, you know what I mean? And like, I don't think a lot of people know what love consists of, like being in love with somebody. I think that a lot of us would rather be strong and single than to be vulnerable. Like, vulnerable is definitely mixed in with being weak. If I'm too into you, or I'm, you're getting a little too close to how my inner self, like me in whole, it's like no, 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 no. Like I can't do this.
Right.
And it shouldn't be like that, because like I said, being in love, you should be able to literally step out of your skin, and that person to be like, I still love you. Like, I still think you're amazing. I still think this and that. Like, and if you can't do that with somebody, or even trust that you can give yourself to somebody else, that's where it starts at. I think that all ties into self-love, because it has to start from somewhere. People used to say, like, not people, but I like RuPaul, and RuPaul says all the time, if you can't love yourself, then how the hell you gonna love somebody else? That's the
Facts.
truth. You can't be out here not feeling. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't curse, so it's weird when that comes out of my mouth. But yeah, when he said that, it's true. Like, you can't be out here with all these standards, all these, you gotta do this, you gotta be this type of person, you gotta have da 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 da, but you not doing nothing for yourself. Like, you're asking for too much. Like, it's not gonna work like that. You guys have to have like a push and pull situation. In no way, shape, or form am I saying that you should not have standards, because that's foolish. I'm saying that
I got standards.
You should pick and
you gotta be Miller for me to be with you, baby.
Huh?
This one.
So like, just take that into some consideration. Like, try to be open about being comfortable with someone else. Like, if you feeling like the first thing that makes you uncomfortable about somebody, if that makes your whole decision, you're not ready. But if that is a fact, if you cannot just sit with somebody and they're just a regular conversation makes you uncomfortable, you know what I'm saying? Like a back and forth text or a back and forth conversation, and maybe they don't say the words that you're expecting, maybe they acting a little weird, like, and you like, like, I'm not doing this. You're not ready, and that means that you should just focus on yourself for that moment.
Jeez, that's a good point, baby.
You should just really focus on yourself, because if, like, for instance, if, like I said, you don't like that you guys aren't swaying the way that you wanted to sway, you can't sit and be like, well, I don't like that person, but I still want somebody. I still want love. You've had all these options, right? And out of all these options, because they didn't have 5 of your standards, you couldn't get down with just 2 or 3 of them. You couldn't get down that, oh, maybe this wasn't a good day, that's why we're not having a really good conversation. You not putting in effort to meet that person halfway. Like, you just need to sit back. That's just what I think. That's my personal opinion about that. So in all, today's world just really needs to know how to trust each other, is what I'm basically saying. Because you can't go nowhere if you don't trust.
So we had self-love. To be honest, I didn't have much self-love for many, many, many years. With all the love around me, I really lack that part. I can love
on everybody else.
At least I try. I try to, because really it's almost impossible to love somebody if you don't love yourself. But I tried. I cared more about loving everybody else than I did loving myself. I know in my first relationship where I fell in love, that statement was very much true. I completely erased who I was, my morals, my what I believed in, to try to please the person I was with, because I wanted to love them. I felt like I loved them. I started to love them, but we were never able to get to where we wanted to be in love with each other, where we wanted to be as far as being fully in love with each other, because I didn't love myself. Um, I was pretty much alright with the sacrifice for them, and I was tearing myself apart. How can I be the best that I could be for somebody if I'm tearing myself apart? Um, Different situations and trauma and things that I experienced also influenced it. Um, but I was terrible with self love. Um, it just didn't exist for a long time. I had terrible low self esteem, and I like still battle with that now, for to be honest. But it was worse. It was worse back in the day. Like I used to, if I did come across myself in the mirror, I would like get really sad, like where I wanted to cry because I seen so many things about myself that I did not like. Um, I pretty much hated myself. Um, just I was just tired of not being the musician I wanted to be, or I hate that my knees are knocked, or I have knock knees, and that I'm pigeon toed. Um, I had pretty hair. I have pretty hair and pretty eyes, but I wanted to be more than the light skinned girl with curly hair and pretty eyes. But I felt like that's all that people seen me as. Um, and that wasn't enough. Still to this day, when people say that I have pretty eyes, like, oh, your eyes are pretty. I don't be wanting to say thank you, like, cause it's like, why can't you just find something else about me to compliment me on than my eyes? And a lot of people don't understand that. But when you have low self esteem, your good parts, for lack of better words, your good parts, they don't mean nothing. Like you be like, all right, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I got pretty eyes, but I'm fat as hell. Like
okay, well my boobs is huge. Like oh.
So yeah, so yeah, like I self love is important. I really want I really want you to understand that, like, in order to get to this point, you have to learn to love yourself. And when I say this point, I mean the point where we are with how we love each other. You have to love yourself, and I love myself as much as I do because of community. And
that's funny.
But yeah, no, I do. I love myself because of community, because she wanted me to be able to embrace that part, like when I was talking about emotions earlier. But I love myself because she loved me enough to want me to learn myself. And it took me in loving her to be open to it, and then as an end result, we fell in love, and it was genuine. I hope that made sense. So yeah, self love, we lack it. We lack it. I learned that. Somebody told me that even the prettiest girls, there's something that they don't like about themselves. That's all of us. You know what I'm saying? I like to think that your baddest superstar probably have things about themselves that they cannot stand. You know, I'm my biggest critic when it comes to music. So, and I'm sure there's people that's famous, they probably got it worse because they got the tabloids and TMZ and everybody else riding their back. Just love who you are. Love what you have to offer. Love that you're different. I'm very much so different. Love that about yourself. My mom, when I was a kid, if y'all hadn't noticed, my mom said I talk too much all the time. You talk too much. You talk too much. I would be talking all the time. Like, Lord, have mercy. And it would be a good thing and a bad thing. I would talk too much in the sense, like, I just always want to hold a conversation, and I was very into deep intellectual conversations when I was a kid for whatever reason. Like I used to love when my mom let me put my 2 cents in on grown folks conversation. But at the same time, I also talk back a lot because I was very opinionated. And my brother told my mother, like, don't stop telling her she talk too much. Like, don't Don't put that in her head, because you never know. She might grow up to be a very famous lawyer. I'm not at all going to be a lawyer, but my point is how he thought about that about me. Sometimes we have to think like that for ourselves.
Yeah.
I talk too much, but I might be able to defend somebody, or I might be able to, like, now get a point across to somebody from that quality that comes off as a flaw.
And you have great communication skills.
I do.
Like, yes, you do.
So I have bad people skills, but I have good communication skills.
Yes.
She told me I have bad people skills, y'all. But yeah, you.
I struggled with self-love for a while. When I was younger, I used to get teased a lot about my skin. I have like keloid skin, so I have a lot of spots. It used to be really bad in the summertime. It used to be like dark black marks on my legs, on my arms, like all over my body. And it used to take a toll on me. I also bloomed really early.
Bloomed?
Yeah.
Like your boobies?
Meaning, like, everybody else had little door knockers, and I had like full-on melons. And I'm sitting here like, so melons? Why did I get melons?
Like, which melon? Like a watermelon?
Nah, that's too big. That's too big.
I was just playing.
Yeah, like I wasn't feeling it for a long time.
Y'all, that was a joke, y'all. I'm not promoting sex, y'all.
I had to find a way to fix it, and my way of fixing it actually turned into a disaster. I moved away to Crofton, Maryland, where I tried to, I was on a dance team, which was already helping me kind of like get my body right. I was doing other things that I won't say on camera to make myself like feel good, like,
get
that
smaller.
that was my way of like coping with
Why don't you tell them?
Self-love, like,
Why don't you tell them?
What? I was doing things to make myself skinnier. Anything from not eating to just juicing, making myself throw up, eating and then making myself throw up, like anything that I could do to make myself feel like, I'm gonna be skinny, and that's all I really care about.
She's never been fat though, so I want y'all to understand that she's never been fat.
Yeah, when I look back now, I'm like, what kind of foolery was you on? But it took for me to come back to PG County, Landover, where I met up back with my friends. Ended up going to high school, and when we lived in PG, well, we still live in PG, but we used to take photos at the mall, where they used to have these little pretty backdrops that you could put up to take pictures, and we used to be really excited to hand those out. I'll never forget handing it out to my best friend, and she looking like, whoa, like, what in the world have you been doing? Like, what is going on? Like, this is not okay. We need to talk. And me being me, I'm like, girl, I love myself. Like, I'm good. Like, I look good. Like, I'm feeling good. Like, nobody can tell me anything. People were giving me compliments like, whoa, like, you did change from like middle school and elementary school. Like, you look completely different. But what I didn't know is that they didn't mean it in a good way. They meant that, like, girl, you look sick. Like, what's going on? It took for me to really sit down and digest like the pictures, and like really looking at myself like, oh my God, like, I really made myself sick. Like, I can't believe that I allowed this to happen, all because I thought this was a form of self-loving myself, making myself a certain way that I thought I was supposed to be. That's not loving yourself. That's not trying to change something on the outside. That's not loving yourself. That's kind of like the complete opposite. It's super being like super low self-esteem. It's almost like self-hate, so
no, that's what it is.
From there, I just really like found other ways to cope with it, aka getting into hair. Hair became a thing where it made me feel like I had some type of power. Like, can't nobody tell me anything because my hair is always going to be laid. Like, I don't care if it's braids. I don't care if it's a wig. I don't care if it's like weave to my butt. Like, it's just...
She don't care if it's orange, green, yellow, pink,
any
purple.
Any color. It doesn't matter. And I started loving on myself, like taking care of myself. Telling myself I'm cute. I get compliments ever since I was little. I've always been complimented. You have a pretty smile. You're a pretty girl. People want me to take pictures, like crushes. You know, I've always like
crushes.
I've always been told that, but it's one thing to be told, and it's another thing to really believe it for yourself. And yeah, it took me a moment to really start thinking about me. And words of affirmation do work. Telling yourself like I'm the bomb, like I'm the bomb. Nobody can come.
Come on, let's show 'em.
Go ahead. You started.
Markia.
Yep.
Yeah. So even though your glasses are crooked, you're still cute.
Yep.
Your turn.
Camellia, you are beautiful. No one can tell you anything else.
Even though...
Yourbomb.com. Okay.
Oh, you wanted to...
Oh, I was done.
Let me take something personal. Even though you read kind of off when you read out loud, you still smart.
Exactly. And that's okay.
It's your turn.
So,
say another one. It's your turn.
Camellia, even though you look tired and dry, and I can't believe you'll be doing this for the world to see, it's okay because you still it. Like, good days or bad days, you always gonna be on top.
You know, while we recording this, like I'm noticing that it's still hard. Like it's not easy. Like just looking at yourself and complimenting yourself. We'll do another one. Somebody loves you. Marquez, somebody loves you. Camellia loves you. Your family loves you. Like, it's okay to be yourself. It's okay to be free.
Let me find a good one. Camellia, you may not be where you want to be. You may not even be at touching the surface of it, but it's way more out here for you.
Yeah, it's important that you do that. It's important.
Really is.
It's important that I guess it's okay to be honest and say that was kind of hard. Not at all scripted, y'all. Like, it's kind of hard to look at yourself in the mirror and say, like, what it is and what it ain't. But you definitely should do it. You definitely should invest in loving yourself. We love you. We thank everybody who watched, who cared enough to watch it all the way to the end. I'm sorry, I know that this video is long. I always like to say, if anybody's offended that I vape in the video, I just like to be myself. This is me being myself. I'm gonna continue to be myself because I feel like I'll get to you if I'm honest, and if I'm myself, then if I try to pretend like I'm something I'm not, and I'm kind of overdoing that. I did it for so long. I'm grateful for this vape because I smoked cigarettes for years, and I was able to put it down. The vape is a little better, still not the best. It's not promoting vape, y'all, but I'm just talking about myself. So if anybody's offended, any of my church family, y'all, I'm just trying to be myself. But we love y'all. Thank you for watching. Make sure you follow us on social media. Before I go, I want to give you the song of the I will say the song of the week, but basically we'll give you a song into the next video. My love song is "Oh Yeah" by Music Soul Child Robert Glasper. I'll post it, how you spell it, or a picture of the or how you can find it,
not easy
like
to find.
down there or over there or over there, up there somewhere. I'm gonna post it, so you can see it. Again, make sure you follow our social media. I'll have that up too. We love you, we love you, we love you. Love wins, y'all. Love wins. And let love.